All right, here we go. Here we go. Check that out. All right, nice. Good day, everybody. I love what we're seeing here. I was actually, let me show my chart real quick. I was drawing up a few things and it's starting to look like price may offer a clean setup here. 1 second here. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Let's get back to it. Boom, 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 boom. Sign in. Pick up where we left off. Nice. All right, cool. Save that transition. And we are live. Perfect, perfect. So first thing that I'm looking at here is how does price respond to this level down here? We have this OB right here. So this bearish order block, right? This is what sent price down into these lows. You can see the body closures. You can see the wicks. You can see the SMT, right? So you can see the exhaustion in this area, all right? And with that on the table, I just want to know, will this end up being a legitimate break, right? If this is truly bullish, we'll start closing through this this order block here. If we're not, then we might get some SMT off of this. You know, SMT up here. You know, the basics, right? Price will start showing exhaustion there. But if price can remain strong up above this bearish order block here, I'm starting to think price wants higher based on this reaction here. We have London high and Asia high available. So that's what I'm looking for. No rush to today. Simply going to allow this opening range to develop. I love this profile right here. I love this profile right here. This looks extremely bullish. All right, and then you have overnight session offering a ton of sell side sweeps, and then now you leave that buy side resting above. Really, really nice. 930 opens, jabs into it. You get this change in the state on the 1 minute. And now we're simply waiting to see, does this momentum hold up, right? Because we've seen that 930 sweep and then flip back bearish. We've also seen the 930 pump, retrace, and continue. So you just got to let this close here. 930 open with this down close candle here. So I'm looking for more down close action. I want to see price pull back and start showing us some sellers so we know exactly where they are. Pretty decent week ahead. If I'm looking forward on the news forecast, let's go take a look. Boom, boom, boom. Where was it? Here. There it is. All right, so looking at today, we don't have anything important today. And then you have tomorrow, there's going to be retail sales, and Wednesday we have unemployment rate. Thursday we have jobless claims. Friday we have CPI. Let's go. CPI week. Volume should be spectacular. So far, so good. London session moved pretty well last night. If I go to the higher time frame, like what is price looking like, right? Let's look at NASDAQ here. Look at this gold, bro. I hate stuff like this. This is starting to look like a scam, bro. If you're going to be bullish, you're supposed to see some bearish pressure, literally right now. Price should start showing some bearishness so you can get that pullback, right? That pullback to show that price is trying to find support so it can continue. You don't want to see price just keep going up and up and up. That's when you start to think we're not really bullish. What was I looking at? Okay, yeah. So 4-hour chart, what is the higher time frame telling me? Clean this up. Higher time frame. So we're pushing into this bearish gap. We got beautiful rejection. And now we're pushing back into this bullish gap and we're getting some decent rejection here. All right. The catch for me is this 4-hour order block. This looks like a lot of selling pressure. So these 4-hour candle highs may end up rejecting price. Right. As you guys know, I'm not bullish on the long term this year. I am more bearish based on this higher time frame here. I would love to see price push back towards this low here. That's my higher time frame draw. And as we know, price can push as far as it wants into this leg here and still be bearish. So we could push up, continue higher before selling. So you don't just want to blindly take shorts, right? Boom, boom. Daily chart, where's that daily high? We've taken out that daily high. We're inside a daily fair value gap. Got this daily volume imbalance here. Price trades back up to the EMA. Nice rejection. Just looks pretty bearish. And now we're seeing this overextension higher. Yeah, I think we're going to end up shorting today, guys. Ideally, I would want to see a short. We sweep into here, push higher, tapping into a bunch of bearish territory. Let's see if we can catch a clean reversal. If there isn't any strong like selling pressure, what'll happen is we should see at least a retest of this order block to go higher. And then I could try the buy up to London high or to Asia high. But we're just gonna have to wait until this 30-minute candle shows a little bit more structure. Right now, we're getting a lot of buying pressure, and it's really not what I want to see. Let's look at this candle here. So we got this order block here at 330. What does structure look like inside of there? 330. All right, is that when the candle opens? Yeah, opens at 330. Closes at 4. And if I zoom into here, you see absolutely nothing. And that's supposed to be the bearish pressure that caused this move. Got this up close candle here from 3 to 330. And this is a bullish candle, right? So this candle right here, this down close candle should, actually, no, I take that back. That's before 3 o'clock. So 3 o'clock starts here. This is where the selling pressure steps up. So this is where you would expect the sellers to maintain. If this level shows a good amount of rejection, we could probably end up taking shorts here. Price is way too overextended for me to think this is a clean buy setup. And same thing over here. Let's find that order block that sent price lower. That up close candle starts at 3 o'clock. Perfect. From 3. Beautiful. So yeah, the selling pressure is sitting right at the top of this order block as well. If we can get past this level here, then that's going to be extremely bullish. And then we still have Asia high. All right, where's that up close candle that put in Asia high? Here it is. Let's look at the structure inside of it. 5-minute chart tells us that the sellers were able to take over at the top of the candle once again. So up in this area is where you would anticipate more selling pressure if you're truly bearish. If these charts are truly bearish. And that's that. Here we go. All right, now price is starting to show some pullback activity. I'm gonna give price the next 10 minutes or so to just offer some clean retracements. That'll let us know if we can get a clean retracement here. This is probably gonna end up being bullish. There we go. Just looking for that textbook profile, and if I see it, I'll take it. See what the chat is up to. See if anybody took any trades today. Looks like everyone's chilling right now, rightfully so. Not much going on. VIP. Nice. Everything is set. Give this like 10 minutes here to shape up, and then we'll revisit, because like I mentioned, there are some very bearish areas in here. And I kind of want to look at Friday's session. Where did price find rejection here? So price rejected off of this up close candle here. And if I'm not mistaken, there should be some decent structure inside of there. $9 a.m. to 9:30. Look at that. Beautiful, right? This is where the selling pressure started on on Wednesday, February 4th. And then look what happens when price taps this area all the way 5 days later. Did we tap it? Oh no, we didn't tap it. Where did we tap? We tapped into, looks like the lower half of it. That candle right there. Yeah, that's it right there. Tapped into there. Beautiful selling pressure, sending price back lower. So I'm going to keep my eyes on that level as well. And then where did price find support? Price found support off of this down close candle, which should have decent structure inside of it. 11:30 to, all right, 11:55, 11:30, this up close candle. So it'll be this down close candle right here. The first selling pressure to show gets absorbed, use that support, retest it, continues, and then now look, we stab into it again. And what do you know? More bullish pressure. All right, so decent range here, right? You can see where all the real volume is originating. So obviously you want to get a position as close to this level as possible, or as close to these levels, depending on your bias. Right now I'm neutral. Long term, like, I really think this year is going to be very bearish. I think we're just getting started with the downside moves, but day by day, you know, your bias, your session bias is going to be a little bit different than your higher time frame bias. Just depends on where the market is trying to get this current session. Boom, 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 boom. And I'm just looking around to see where else did price show resistance. Starting to see a lot of rejection here, so I'll give this, like I said, another 6 minutes or so, and we will reevaluate things once this candle closes. Beautiful rejections all over the place here. London high right around the corner. Bearish order block right around the corner. Yeah, guys. Pretty solid. Looks like price wants higher here. I like this now. Let's see if we can start closing through these sellers here. See if we can start closing through these sellers. And I'll make these gray because these are just higher time frame zones. No lower time frame confirmation so far. But I would imagine that's exactly where we're going to end up shorting from if price can get into it. Save that. Pull this up. I'm going to watch. Let's see which one is actually stronger now that the market has been open for a minute. So the stronger asset goes to the one that was pushing the furthest. We see ES push the furthest, and we see SMT off the low. ES is stronger. So that's what I'll be buying if I'm bullish. That is what I'll be buying if I'm bullish. NASDAQ is what I'll be trading if I'm bearish. All right, nice. Save this and let's see what happens. All right, so waiting for a little more clarity. You can see we have identified our sellers. We got this 930 opening, pushing higher, sweeping these highs, and then we essentially close back underneath this order block, which is very, very bearish at the moment, right? This next candle has the task of either confirming the short or confirming the breaker structure for higher. Looks like this candle right here just didn't want to get the job done. And as you can see, the very next candle picks up where it left off. And I'm looking for these sellers to be taken out to give potential buy idea. But you just got to be very careful, right? We understand what's in front of us. We have a few bearish landmarks right above. Really nice up close candle rejection, right? Up close candle reject, up close candle reject. So when you think order block, you should think, where did price try to go opposite and fail? Here's two areas. We're stabbing into this zone here. And literally anything in this area is bearish. You can take this all the way over here up to this high. So we're just waiting right now. We got this 5-minute bullish fair value gap. I would love to see how price responds to it. Take off some of these indicators here. Really clean price action, right? You're not getting any false signals right now. Everything seems to be still figuring itself out. So no reason to be trading right now, right? Give it a few more minutes. Price should start showing its hand. Really nice continuation here. Look at where price is continuing from. Specific areas of interest are holding for the buyers. This is starting to look bullish, right? Like I mentioned, going into this, I was pretty bullish. I'm just waiting for 5-minute confirmations to show me prices building bullish order flow. All right, so if we're looking here, 930, it's like we're still putting it together, right? It's really not done yet. All right, cool. 5 minute, 30 minute. Starting to flip these bearish areas. Now, let's see what happens. Now that price is pushing back into this area up above, I'm interested to see if we have some sort of change in character, because we're pushing pretty fast here. Price could easily flip bearish now that it's hitting bearish territory. Right? You get all this bullish structure here, but who's to say that all of this structure wasn't created to simply push into here? And then once this objective is met, all of this structure could fail because price was simply climbing to get here, and then you get that market structure shift, and then now it's like, all right, let's go find somewhere else to go. And that's usually what traps a lot of traders in the first hour of market open or so. The market will give you a clean setup, but you have to be savvy enough to understand, like, where is price going? Is it giving me a setup to trend, or is it giving me a setup to sweep in reverse, right? So that's what I'm waiting here to find out. Because what should happen is we should see some strong rejection from this level. And if we can pull back into this level and maintain here, meaning try to go lower and fail, break structure, I'm going to buy this and target the next area of interest. So let's see what happens here. Really nice, right? You see, we draw this idea, price pulls back, gives you that move. I want to see at least a 5-minute flip of this zone here, and then I'll mark this bullish, which it looks like we're going to get. So I'll go ahead and do that now. And then from there, the same rules apply. If we retest this area and we show any strength, you buy it. No questions asked. Give price a chance to go where it's trying to go. And because we've seen the manipulation lower here, we should be able to catch a nice trade above this order block right here. Price shouldn't want to retrace back down into this zone if we're truly bullish, right? If price is consolidating, then yeah, it'll get back in here. But nice. So that's what I'm going to wait for. I'm going to wait for the retest of this zone here. We're getting that 5-minute confirmation that price is bullish. Remember, this order block right here needed to be broken, and I believe we are going to end up breaking it. So I'll get ready for that. You guys stand by. I'll be on standby, and let's see if we can catch another banger on our prop firm accounts today. Boom, boom, boom. Contract sheet, where are you? There it is. Driving directly into bearish territory. But the good part about it, like I mentioned, price took the time to build structure before slamming into this bearish order block. And that gives me confidence that if we reject here, we're probably just going to continue through this zone. All right, similar to this right here, right? What do you notice? Price just free falls into a bullish area. I don't expect this zone to hold up because it free falled. And what happens? Price slowly eating away at this zone. And eventually I think we'll break through it. The key is, are we going to get some sort of retest here before higher? I would hope so. That'll make it easier for me to get the entry that I want. I don't want to be buying it up here. If I buy it up here, I have to have a massive stop loss. Ruins the risk to reward. So I want to get that delayed entry where price pulls back in here for no reason, just to maybe trick a few people into shorts. And then from there, you get the buy on ES. Man. So I'm gonna use this as my area of interest. Always use the most extreme zone going forward. It makes trading a lot easier. All right. So this area here is where I'm looking for my entry. If I can get an entry down in here somewhere, cover the lows with like 10, 11 points, and that'll be a beautiful trade right there. Is it doing that? It is. Why is it? As you can see, I'm over here working on this background filter. All right, do that. All right, should that be acceptable? I'll leave it like that. guess I'll just do it like that. All right, so what do you guys notice, right? Price is a little bit too eager here. So just let price go without you. Way too eager for me. Way too eager. Maybe I should put you down here like that. There we go. I like that. Cool. Done messing around with that. Exit out of here. Markets are ripping right now. You get one retest of this order block and off she goes. Stabs into this fair value gap. 1 minute chart offering nothing, right? So how you know that price is likely to return to this area is simple, right? When you see price break out, was there any valid breaks in structure and a retest offered? Not at all, right? When we break structure from this zone, there's no internal break that retest, right? All I see is price breaking this high, pull back into this fair value gap, and now we're hitting this session high. I don't see much of a pullback, so I'm expecting a pullback. And once price pulls back, I know exactly where I'm looking to get busy from. And that area is highlighted below. Good delivery towards buy side liquidity here. We called this move. Unfortunately, it didn't give me what I would want to look for my entry model. But all in all, great delivery towards this London high here. We still have Asia high on the table, so that could be the next draw. Just sitting back here waiting for a clean optimal entry, right? That's that's the name of the game for 2026. Optimal entries. If the entry is not optimal, skip it. And not just for 2026. That's becoming the standard here on out. Optimal entry. All right, here goes the overextension activity. It's making me believe that we're not going to be very bullish for very long. An hour from now, price will be way back down here. You'll be like, wow. But we'll see. Like, we've seen Mondays offer very, very clean manipulation days where Monday will go for buy side, and then the rest of the week will flip back bearish and completely wipe out sell side. All right, so Monday could be this overextension manipulation type of day. So if price does pull back and show any signs of bullishness, I have to respect that. Understanding the weekly profile in confluence with this lower time frame profile, we were already showing lots of bullish pressure going into the market open. The market opens up, confirms that bullish pressure, and now we're starting to see closures past the area of interest. There's a bearish area of interest failing to give us any type of rejection. So that's telling me that chances are price wants this high. Go to the weekly chart. Previous weekly high could be on the table. So let's highlight that. Which I should have it already highlighted here. Yeah, it's already up there. I just have to turn my other indicator on, but beautiful 30-minute engulfing working out right now. And we have this 4-hour wick. I should have like a 1-hour gap or 30-minute gap in this area. All right, 30-minute gap sitting up here. Let me highlight that. That's liquidity. ES driving into it. That could be where we see that first true selling pressure now. Unmitigated 30-minute gap being filled. SMT also being offered. I would love to see some strong rejection here so that price can retest the bullish area of interest below. Bearish pressure is stepping up really, really nicely right now. So I'll erase this bearish area simply because we just blasted right through it. We know we're in bearish territory, so I'll just keep the unmitigated zones highlighted for now. See what happens. As of right now, this still remains the game plan here. I would love to see this. All right. Checking in on price. Price is very healthy. No pullback so far. All right. So naturally, I'm going to wait for a new 30-minute candle, which if I flip over to the 30-minute chart, save this. There we go. All right. And I'm loving the discrepancy in price, right? You can see where the bearish move is almost looking better than the buys, right? Because look at what's happening here. ES is racing towards Asia high. NASDAQ unable to get there just yet. We get that sweep with a flip. That's an easy, short understanding that price wants to potentially rebalance here. Let's look at gold. Actually, I got to start looking at gold again, but I told myself I was going through some trades over the weekend and I'm like, honestly, if you lock in, bro, NASDAQ or ES, you'll catch 3, maybe 4 really good setups throughout the week. So trading gold is a bit OD. So that's why I haven't really been too worried about gold. But I am more interested in crypto. I will say that. I will give crypto more attention because of where it's at. It's at 69K. This is the area that I'm interested in crypto, right? So while we wait, check this out, right? This is what I noticed over on the crypto. Remove drawings, Ethereum. Let's talk crypto, right? So long term, right? You go over here, you check out crypto is a very, very interesting asset because long term, crypto is so bullish, right? We have specifically Bitcoin here retracing into this yearly fair value gap. The last down close candle on the yearly, right? Price is fractal, so the same concepts that I'm using on the intraday charts, the daily session charts, I can apply that to the yearly chart. I understand that similar to this move, bro, look at this, bro. Price is 1000% algorithmic, right? So once you truly understand that, you take your emotions out of investing and you just play the charts for what they're telling you. Here, what do we see? We see this down close candle from January 2018. That's a whole year, a bearish year, followed by a bottom showing signs of exhaustion in the following year, and then explosion year 2 after the down year, right? So 2 years after this down close bearish market, what happens? Price makes a new high, expands from this down close candle, right? With this expansion, we understand price can retest this area and still be extremely bullish. We want to see it be bullish so we can buy it down here. All right. So I'm going to actually go down and look at what reversal powder was offering to start this new year, right? January closes bearish 2022. With that bearish closure, the very next year shows strength, and then the second year explodes. We just saw the same cycle right here, right? Same thing repeats itself there. So what should I expect to happen here? We are about to have one of the biggest recoveries on Bitcoin, because if you look at the range from here, from this down closed candle to the high, it went from 4,000 to 65,000, right? Massive move. From this down close candle at about 17,000, it goes all the way to 91,000 before you get that pullback, right? Not even. It goes a little bit higher. It goes up to this wick. I take that back. It goes up to 126,000. So it went from 17K to 126K in 3 years. All right. So when price drives, if price, it may not actually make it down here. That's the game you have to play sometimes. We saw it hit this area once. It doesn't have to get all the way back to 49K. So that's why I said now price is getting in that area where I'm looking to strike. But here's the key, right? This is where concepts give you the answer to what you should do. I shouldn't even consider buying any crypto this year. Why? Because when price has a down year, look at what happens. That year closes bearish, bro. So there's going to be a lot of people buying this dip at 60K, 69K, thinking it's going to run. And this candle is just going to close bearish. It's not going to flip back bullish. So there's no point of buying crypto this year is what the solution is. You heard it here first. If you haven't already speculated and come to this conclusion yourself, right? This is the year of a bearish candle. And we got a really quick, it's only February. That's where I'm like, bro, if you're buying this, you don't understand that price could retest 40K, 47K and still be 100% bullish. And a lot of people are going to be so afraid to buy unless you really know the technicals, right? The rich people aren't going to be afraid. The big players, they're going to be, honestly, they're going to be eager to buy because they're going to be down a lot of money on their Bitcoin and crypto portfolio because they were buying millions and millions of shares at 90K, at 100K, and then Bitcoin hits 47K. They're going to be panic buying. And that's why it's going to skyrocket back to 120. Let's see, what's the percentage from the previous high to the new high that was made? So it jumped from 20K to 50K, 267% from the previous high going into that bearish year, right? And then you have, looking at this high to the most recent high, you get a 84% gain. So let's say we go on the lower end. Let's just go like 70% gains from here. Bitcoin should hit at least 200K within the next, I can't say when, right? That's the catch. We saw this happen pretty fast, right? We saw it was only one bearish year, right? So that's why I want to go look at how did price flip here, what type of reversal structure was offered, so we can get an early indication of when price is ready to turn, because this could end up being consolidation, right? You can see this bearish year, but then price start closing within this range for a year, maybe 2 years, who knows, right? But if you start looking on the lower time frame and seeing these, I'll pull up some screenshots later, but essentially I just want to look down into here and be like, in 2023, what was the reversal pattern? In 2020, what was the reversal pattern? You go to that 4 hour. Actually, no, if you're on the monthly, daily should be fine. Yeah, daily should be fine. It goes parabolic. It literally just decides one day. Look at it. It just decided. Wow, this is January 1st, like the beginning of the year. It just rips. Wait. I think the other candle was the same. The very beginning of the year. Don't buy Bitcoin until January, essentially. Where was the other one at? Let's see. There's one here. Look, January 3rd, parabolic. Well, really, this one takes off in February, March. Yeah, March, late March, April. March and April. That's when you start to see that. And then here you see it at the very beginning of the year. But really, what does it come down to? It's really just you wait on that first like daily break of structure. Once you close a bearish year, it's easy. Oh yeah, this is clean, bro. This is gonna be a clean opportunity to buy crypto. And you see that daily break of structure, immediately start loading your Bitcoin positions because you know price could go parabolic. And all you're doing is giving it a chance to run. So here you have that same approach. You're like, all right, the new year is here. We just had a bearish year, whatever the case may be. Let me go back and make sure I'm looking at the right ones. Also, the live charts aren't doing anything. So that's why I'm over here checking out crypto. But what's wrong, buddy? But looking at it, we said the down year was actually this year right here. So looks like the same protocol though. And then the down year over here was perfect. So now we're getting our first down year. So let's see if I go back to the daily. You okay, man? What are you doing? So here, this is where you would be looking. If you just simply wait for that daily to break structure and then start loading your crypto, maybe like these highs right here. The moment we start breaking structure prices, you load up your positions at 7K and then just let it ride, right? Because when you're investing crypto, you can survive these pullbacks. 7K to 4K, that's not terrible. Especially if you put like 10K into it, you're not down too much. You still have a lot of wiggle room, right? And this is at the beginning of Bitcoin, so works out just fine. You're gonna see deeper pullbacks at the beginning of Bitcoin, and then here you're gonna see massive moves, but the big moves are gonna be bigger than the pullbacks, right? Big moves, moderate pullback, decent pullback actually, big move, small pullback, big move, small pullback, big move, small pullback. Now we're finally getting a decent pullback. I think realistically, it looks like price is going to squeeze like it did before, like here. Look at how deep this pullback was before price took off. All right. Massive pullback. It drops essentially 77%, right? That's what we should expect here because of how aggressive this move is. We could drop 70% from this high, 77%, which would be down. Look at that. Wow. Right at the same area of interest. So keep that in mind. Do not buy crypto this year. That's my friendly, not even friendly. That's my personal perspective on things. I will not allow myself to buy any crypto this year. But the moment we start seeing indications, I'll let you guys know when I think it's safe, and I'll be buying crypto. And that'll be my first real swing trade on Bitcoin. I really wasn't a part of any of this. I wasn't a crypto guy. I was just day trading futures, right? Or Forex. But I think this will be the opportunity for me to get involved. But as you can see, price is choosing to rip. It's 11 o'clock now. So I'll probably be on the back end of things, right? I'll probably end up shorting if price gives a clean reversal opportunity. But as you can see, price only tapped this level once, and it gave you that. Oh, I could have traded this. Watch this. Let me show you something. I could have traded this. Right, the optimal entry was not the only entry offered today. All right, so look at this, right? We have, if we extend this zone from this, the lowest bearish candle to both, right? We've seen this before, right? This is a typical change in the state as well. However, what did price do? Price taps into it. Let's see if I would have been able. No, I wouldn't have been able to. It's gonna short. This is the profile that I avoid trading because it'll be bullish. It will be bullish, but it can short very quickly, which we've seen every day, right? It'll just be uppity, 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 and then nosedive. So that's why I refuse, I refuse to get in unless it's an optimal entry because I'd much rather just short it or miss it. Like there's going to be days also where price actually goes up, right? How else will it get you to buy it next time if it never goes, right? So this time it might just keep going all day. So the next time you see this, people are going to think, oh, maybe I should buy it. And then it's going to take your money. But here, I'm looking at this. I want to see this same reaction with a pullback. So we see price drive into this green area beautifully, taps right into it, shows rejection, and then it gives you a break of structure here. Oh, that's not good. Oh, it works. That's why that's the wrong gadget. All right, so we get that break of structure. All right, with this break, all I know is, oh my goodness, bro. Yeah, this is this is your area of interest here, right? If you zoom into here, you'll see the same profile, bro. I'm convinced price can only move one way, right? You see what? The most extreme down close candle becomes support. It goes as far as it can, hits a wall, flips. Now you're gonna see price climb on top of here and start holding. Beautiful. If you want to be even more precise, you could say this is the down close candle responsible for that move, but you want to give yourself room for manipulation, so you include the entire body, right? Price is trading within this entire range. All of these candles are simply inside of this candle's range. So I like this candle more. And then when I'm looking, I'm like, all right, we pull back into here and break structure again. Price can continue from here if it wants to. It's showing you price refuses to go lower. Price breaks structure, leaves fair value gap inside the 1050 macro. That's crazy. It's crazy. That guy ICT, I don't know how long it took him to come up with, his system, but you see a lot of the stuff he talks about without even, like, I don't even follow that guy too much. Like, his concepts are popular, so you hear other people trading them. So that's ultimately why you're hip to it, right? That's why you know about it, because it's a popular concept. But I don't, I'm not sitting around watching hours of ICT content. It's not me, right? But I can see the signatures that he mentions. I can see them. Even when I put together my own understanding of the market, we have tons of similarities into how I would approach the market compared to how somebody who trades purely ICT would approach the market, right? But the concepts are like pretty fundamental. Price truly is efficient. Like, if you really look, if you know how to follow along, price is truly efficient. And I think that's how people make billions. They take advantage of the efficiency. Once you understand that the markets are going to manipulate X amount of times, or that price is going to seek this liquidity X amount of times out of however many attempts, right? Once you have enough data, you can say, all right, 70% of the time we're going to hit here. And because price is efficient, it's going to stick to that metric. And you're going to see it 70% of the time. Or, you know what I mean? But here, this was a very aggressive move higher. I anticipate some exhaustion to show shortly. And we still have this unmitigated area down here. So just because we didn't tap it doesn't mean that we won't literally turn all the way back around. So you can't count that out. I'm loving this macro setup here. If you trade macros, bro, like I personally don't do it because I feel like it boxes your brain into like this window that doesn't really have all the opportunities. It's gonna have some of them. I will say that there's gonna be some setups that literally align perfectly with the macro, like here. But personally, I don't think that it matters what time I get in, as long as I have a good stop. As long as I can get a good entry, I'm gonna take it no matter what time it is. Like here, the macro would have forced you to be overextended, but it paid you. It did pay out, right? You get this break of structure in the macro. We start pulling back, accumulating macros coming. Here goes 1050. What happens? Break structure from up. I know how price likes to pull back, right? So when I'm looking at this, I'm not afraid to buy here. I just know that I'm overextending myself. So if price did want to pull back, it's way more likely that I get stopped out. So I just leave it alone, right? But here I see price offer what? Break structure, pull back. Once we start making a new high, price can start finding down close candles to use as support. And what does it use? It uses this one here. I've identified that if we can displace from here, right? We've already shown resistance. If we can displace from here, you can buy this fair value gap. If you're a macro trader, that's your best entry point inside of a fair value gap. So you can buy it in the gap, tight stop, 50 points or so, and you've already pretty much moved to break even, all that type of stuff, right? And it's not even that big of a trade over here. ES is the one that ES gives you much more, of course, right? You buy inside of that gap, stop below the low, 5 points. You catch 1 to 2R over here on ES. Right? Another reason why ES is king. ES is so much better to trade. You get much more risk to reward, I should say. The RR is fabulous. But it all depends on which way you're going, right? NASDAQ will give you excellent RR on the shorts. And then today, ES will give you excellent RR on the buys. You notice it will flip sometimes, so price really forces you to be on your toes. But yeah, just remember that, right? I'm gonna set some alerts down here. Let's see if they get triggered. Oh my goodness, I hope they don't. Just because there's a lot of people with a lot of money up in this area, bro. That'd be tough. And look at where the EMA is. The EMA is sitting at 50,000, 51,000. Yeah, man. I'm actually going to drop this. I'm going to drop this analysis in the chat because I think it will come in handy later. All right. So what I'll do is 2 bearish candles here. Daily BOS. Should put that in cap. All right. And then I'll mark off that daily chart, break of structure. Yeah, I want to draw this up real quick. I'm watching the charts as well, so we're good. It is 11 o'clock. We close with no bearish pressure whatsoever. So that's telling me we're gonna be chilling for a while. Just wait for that bearish order flow to step in. Otherwise, I won't be trading this. All right, so we have the daily chart from here, January 2023. Where was that daily breaker structure? January 2023, right here. We make a low, beautiful. We use this, extend to the right, make it a little thicker. Text. No, I won't do that. And then we have, it happened twice, right? We're just gonna use the most recent one. Don't need both on there. 12-month chart. All right, cool. All right, cool. So looking at it from this perspective, we had that daily breaker structure here. And then we're looking at this 2026 will close bearish. (2026) expect bearish closure here. Make this loud and clear. So that's that. And then we have daily chart breaker structure offered. What date was that? That daily breaker structure was on January 2023, right? Yeah, January 2023. And then from that bottom, price rallied how much? We took January breaker structure, we bottomed in March. And there was a 564% rally. That is crazy, bro. All right, so yeah. All right. And that's from here. So this will be grayed out. We already used this level. Gray it out, but darken it out. There we go. Boom. And now here we are, unmitigated. Then you have this right here as any bearish pressure coming in live? Nothing live, man. Look at these charts, bro. What are you doing? All right, so we take that high. It's 11.13. No, like I said, in this candle here from 10 to 10:30, of course, there was this level here. But as I mentioned, we close with a series of bullish candles. There's no bearish pressure to work with. So I should anticipate the next candle maybe to offer a bearish setup, but for now there's nothing. I'll post this in the chat while we wait on that. Yeah, bottom plus 500%. Don't need the outline, right? That's tacky. There you go. That's that. Now we have this unmitigated area, which is sitting at 50,000. This is your ideal target for a pullback. And that's going to be 50,000. Sorry, 48,002. Say 50,000. Deal target is 50,000. Expect 26 to close. 2026, expect bearish closure. Beautiful. And then it'll be just something like this. Literally to new highs. And then put a target. What was it? 200. How many percentage points? So should we expect here? It's going to be shift. I want it. There it is. All right. So I take that back. Not that high. This high right here, right? Previous high going into that bearish year. How high do we go from there? We went up 80%. So from this high here, 80% would be about 205,000. So I'll go 200K. That's my projection for the next 2 years, 2 to 3 years on Bitcoin. Boom, 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 200K. Look at how massive this zone is, guys. Oh my goodness. Look at this zone, right? So you got lucky, right? Here we break through that bearish year and we barely retest the closing price of that year. I'm sorry, the opening price of that year, right? Barely, right? Price didn't really care to dive deep into this range, but it could still drive into this range all the way down to the body low, which would have been 3K, and still been very bullish. And still, if you got out down here, you would have missed the turnaround for 100K, right? Same thing here. Price could drive into this bearish body here, and it could drive all the way down to 16K. That's crazy. 16K. Let me add that annotation here. Expecting $16K up to $50K. Or really, if you do it this way, right? How I would do it is, what percentage of this candle here was used on the retest. Looks like maybe 0.38. Let me add some more. 0.38. And then 0.25. All right, so if I make these black, which level essentially gives you that bounce the first time around, right? Bro, we didn't even hit 0.25%. Let's add one more 0.10. There it is. So maybe 0.12 maybe, or 13. Yeah, like 13. Yeah, so 0.13. I want to save this fib. Extra tech fib. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so looking at this candle, get rid of that, redo it. Where would price likely hold? Looking for it. All right, so I'm expecting the bounce between 40K. I'll go 44 and 50K. Yeah, 44 and 50K. Expecting 44K, 50K to 44K range. Anything lower can reach as low as 15K. And that's that. The markets are chopping their lives away right now. So at least we're being productive here. All right. That's my take on crypto. About to drop this in the group chat. And like I said, if we're patient and we actually get some sort of ugly crash here where price literally starts hitting 48K, I would say that's fair, because it fits the protocol. We've seen this thing drop 77%, literally the very last bearish year. It dropped us all the way down to 15K when it was up 68K, right? People panic, but this is where you want to be buying. And this should be very clean. So we'll see how it plays out. Got some notes annotated here. Let me see. Put a background on this. Make it teal, maybe. Yeah. Boom, boom. Lighten it up a little bit. All right, cool. Expecting, yeah, there we go. Right in there. Right in there. There we go. And it's so simple that it looks like, bro, if this plays out like this, bro, I understand how people make billions of dollars trading. I officially get it. And then when do you know? And there's really no point to sell. Once you get this entry price, similar to this entry price right here, when you got the pullback here down all the way back to 16K and you saw signs of life, if you bought it at 20K, you should never sell your Bitcoin. You should never sell it. The only thing that can take out crypto is some sort of a hack of the infrastructure, which that right there is nobody can, nobody can predict if something like that will actually happen. And if it does happen, no matter what, everything's gonna crash because it's gonna be a cybersecurity fear, right? Every company, every big market is gonna be afraid they could be hacked next. So it's still gonna create lots of fear and rattle the market, and no matter what you're invested in. So that's that's no excuse to not trade crypto. You know what I mean? So here we go. Let me screenshot this. Take this. There it is. I should title this. Put a title at the top. BTC. Do I want to make it a forecast? Yeah. $2026 will close bearish. Yeah, let's make this a firm statement here. 2026 will close bearish. So looking at this, it's tough because notice how this candle overlaps with the fair value gap. Price could maintain, let's see, what level was maintained on this candle? About 50%. Yeah. Price could maintain 50% of that breakout candle here. Right? And we could start bouncing from, okay, we've already broken 50%. So yeah, if price closes through, there we go. That's the game plan. If price closes the year under, what price was that? My bad. Under 73K. Expect a retest of 47. $47K to $15K range. That's crazy. All right, there we go. Go get some emojis, sauce this thing up a little bit. Markets are running today. You see what we're getting? We're about to be so bearish, bro. That's why I'm patient. You see why I don't even care about missing these? It's leaving everything behind on purpose. We're gonna get some shorts throughout this week. All right. That looks good. If price closes the year under 73K, expect a retest of the 43K to 15K range for buy protocol. Yeah. So what I'm thinking about is the price closes. If price holds price holds above 73K to end the year, expect an immediate to break structure. Bingo. Price is running. All right, yeah. Looks good to me. What I'll do is just drag this over here, top right corner. Something like that, or maybe top left corner. But get ready for that. That's going to be a generational. I can't even say generational because it's going to pull back in 2 years. You see down year, 1, 2, 3 bullish years. So yeah, you're pretty much gonna down year 1, 2, 3, down 1, 2, 3, down 1, 2, 3. 3-year cycle. It's a 3-year cycle, guys. So if you buy here, you hold it for a couple of years, but essentially, like I mentioned, you're taking profit. You're not closing all your Bitcoin out. Let's say you have price gets down to here, for example, just for whole numbers. Let's say price gets to 50K, you buy a whole Bitcoin. When price gets up and it's strong for 2 years in a row, you sell, majority of your Bitcoin at 130, you hold maybe. So at that point, 130, if it gets back to 50K, you had 3 Bitcoin, you sell 2 Bitcoin, hold 1. Right? Always have at least 1 Bitcoin, scale off the rest. That's what I would do if I could play with the whole Bitcoin. But you can use the same concept to your initial investment. Whatever you decide, you can put 5K here. Once you feel me, clear your 5K, you get up to, let's say you're up 20, 30K on your position, take your 25K after 2 years and go back to your 5K original coin. Let that grow up and then scale it off down to 5K every pullback. You'll be chilling. Increase your coin size every time it gets a pullback. So like, instead of just leaving it at 5K, you're like, all right, I made 20K. Let me actually leave double. Let's leave 10K so that when 10K gets up, I could take off more profit. And you trust the cycle. You feel me? You don't think about it. You don't over analyze it. You trust the cycle and see what happens, bro. Don't trade with anything that you're not afraid to lose, and you'll be just fine. Nice. Starting to see some rejection here. Let's go. All right, cool. So posted that in the chat room. If you're not in the chat room here, I'll drop the link to the chat room right now while we wait for some sort of optimal setup. All right, yeah. So pushing deep into bearish territory with no structure at all for these buys here. So all I'm looking for is, there we go. You're starting to see that weakness here, right? You see how this candle's starting to look like a doji here on the 30-minute chart. Still have 18 minutes left. So that's where, that's where patience comes into play here. It's a Monday, no red news, low expectations. We're chilling, right? So no reason to try and short something that's not going to short. If it wants to keep going, so be it. But who knows? No, maybe at the end of 2026, I could go back and I could say Mondays are the days you want to get in early on these types of moves, because price can spend the entire day going higher, as we've seen before. Like, let's go see. Pick any one of these rallies. It'll be that Monday that we just saw something like this. Was it here? Yeah, it was this one. The last rally was on a Monday. All right, Monday, 6 a.m. What happens? Price opens and we just rally, pull back. Bro, that's today. What is going on? That is today. I'm like, what? Where's the last Monday rally that we saw? Tuesday, Monday. Here it is. So this is what we saw. This is what pops up in my head when I think about what we're seeing today. Monday, February 2nd, we open bullish and we just run, right? We ended up closing the session, spending the entire Asia session, opening London session way up here, and then sell off. And then this marks the top of like how many points? This was over 200 points down, right? And then now here we are again on a Monday, pushing into bearish structure, overextending. It's crazy. By the very next day, it was gone. Like, it didn't even spend more than one day up here to chop. The very next day at 7 a.m., price was putting in the top. So it's tough, man. I think I still caught a piece of this short. Yeah. I think I caught a short in here off of this this bearish candle. 10 a.m. gave you a clean setup for a continuation. And that's what I'm looking for here. Like, are we going to get a clean setup for a bullish continuation? But it's not pulling back at all. If it doesn't pull back at all, I can't work with it. Maybe we get a setup off of this candle here because we do have some sellers here for once. And price just completely steps all over them. So once this candle closes, I'll get to dive into this candle to see, all right, maybe we can use this structure here to continue higher. Because I'm not afraid to buy on a Monday, right? I'm not afraid to buy on a Monday. But there's been no opportunity after 10 a.m. Maybe this area right here, you could get a pullback into this area here. That's actually not a bad idea. You got this order block here, but it just doesn't seem like price cares about it. NASDAQ hit, nope. So we have 930, 10, 1030 offering. Really is 930, 10 to 1025. Now we close through it, yeah. Once we close through it, this becomes a valid area. And then up here, we're getting one pullback. On the 5-minute chart, you see price is really not interested in lower. Yeah. So, hey, man. What can I say? Yeah, guys, Mondays are the runaway days, bro. It's funny because if I came into today's session with that mindset, that state of mind, right? I would have been very, very eagerly looking to buy here, but I still don't think I would have bought this though. Cause there's a few ways you could play this. I would have wanted to at least get a we tap into here, we get that market structure shift. So yeah, it gives you that overextension type of structure where price every time price overextension it does this. It breaks structure, right? And then pay attention to how price responds after breaking structure. After it breaks structure, what happens? Price pulls back, tries to go lower, and then makes a new high. Once we make another high, it's the same protocol all over again. I just look for areas for price to retest. Like when we broke structure here, I would have wanted price to retest maybe this order block here. Ideally, the very, lowest point of interest, but it could have tapped into there. Same thing applies here. Now we have a new range. If I zoom into here, which one of these levels would I want to see tapped into? We break structure here at 1045. There goes your down close candle. You have two, mark off both. A strong reaction from there. I'm buying that. If I'm aggressive, right? If I consider today a day where I want to see price run. Stops below here at 10 points, 60 point stop. And you literally give price a chance to run. We have two targets above. Let me get 1.5. Because if we're going to run, we're going to run, right? So 60 for 90, and then that's the trade, right? And that's something I'm going to keep in my back pocket going forward. Mondays, this is the second time we've seen this, where Monday runs and grabs all the liquidity it can in no time. So I won't count this as a missed trade. I count this as I just skipped this trade because I saw what was happening. I chose not to buy this, right? I think that's going to save me a lot of money in the long run. Unless it's on Mondays. If I keep seeing this, right, I'm going to make a note of it, like I said, and just keep it in my back pocket. But if we see this keep popping up, then it's going to be like, all right, okay. I see price trying to run on a Monday, and it's clearly in the counter trend, right? We're clearly going against the bearish market structure. Beautiful trade. Beautiful trade, y'all. But yeah, let's see if price is able to offer this is your recovery right there. But it's still even still, right? For a Monday, it's like I don't think I would have to see a bunch of these types of days, right? Where Monday literally just runs and runs. But I don't think there'll be too many of those. So yeah, I'm not even gonna screenshot that. Won't even add that to my notes. I'm not really too pressed about taking those types of trades unless, like I said, we keep seeing Monday offer that, then I may add it. It's officially going into 12 o'clock and the market has been running since the open. What about silver, man? I got my crypto breakdown in. Let's go look at silver and gold. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, silver. Let's see. Okay, nice pop. We're back at 83 bucks. Was down here last night, 64. Nice, not terrible. Gold making a nice bounce on the higher time frame. What does gold look like on the monthly and the weekly? Straight parabolic, bro. Let's go weekly. Daily. Okay, daily got some Some bearish pressure up ahead, man. Where are we bouncing from? This was definitely very strong. Multiple attempts to go lower. This dip right here absorbed a lot of pressure and completely flips it. Yeah, we could literally go straight back to all-time highs with all that pressure in this level here. It all depends on how price responds to this short-term high right here. Do you get SMT off of it, or do you close strongly through it? If so, that's going to start using, this wick or this doji or this down close candle will be used to go higher if it can close above it. So yeah, looking at this morning, like I can't say that I trust this move higher. Look at this, right? We had this area of interest. We wick off of it. Nice wick. Make you think that, okay, maybe there's some sellers up in here. No. That wick was useless. Price, I guess it's tough, man. You can say probably a 15-minute break and retest happened here. Yeah, 15-minute breaks it, breaks the order block, retests it, and continues. But that's just a little bit too fast for me. I don't care for the 15-minute chart. I'm a 30-minute guy. 30-minute is so luxurious. I feel like I'm luxury trading. It gets pretty hectic the lower the time frame. But it is 12 o'clock. I will be online until about, honestly, I would say 1 p.m. But it all depends on that 30-minute candle going into 1 p.m. So if 12:30 doesn't give me anything and it's just continuing higher, right, I'll wrap it up early.
I apologize
to All right, 12 o'clock is here. Let me clean up this chart. There's nothing really to work with, guys. Massive expansion here. Where's YM? So I don't know if you guys noticed, but YM is at 50,000. The all-time high is 50,000, and we're right next to it. And you guys already know how bearish I am mentally. So this right here just makes me think we are nowhere near the end of this bearish shock wave. We got hit with a nice wave, and I think that the next wave is going to be even more bearish. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, but the signs are just screaming, get ready for shorts. Like, oh my goodness. But YM says a lot. Let's look at YM. I might even trade YM. Watch this. This bearish candle gets my attention at 11:30, guys. So if structure is correct, a short may be pretty appropriate here. We're getting SMT across the table. We got boom, boom, boom. Nah, it's not what I want to see. Yeah, it's not what I want to see. 5-minute chart. All right, so this looks better. The buy protocol looks a lot better than the shorts, right? So if we have right here, so we have this bullish candle close. We have this bearish pressure here. I might buy YM, bro. Watch this. Y'all don't want to pull back? Let's see. I'm watching YM for the same protocol, right? We get this selling pressure. We finally get a bullish closure. So if I'm looking at this 30-minute chart, you're going to see a bullish order block. Here's your order block right here. So we know that this could end up being a continuation. Just give it a chance to prove it, right? Don't guess. Just let it unfold. And how this would look would be price would start breaking through this bearish zone right here. I'll make it red because right now it's resistance. All right, you can see price puts in this bearish candle and we have yet to close through it. We see even more rejection off the top of it. So this is currently a bear zone. Depending on how price responds in the next few minutes to this zone, I'll get a better idea of which way price wants to go. YM starts showing sell signals. I would hope that we would get some sort of sell signal over here as well. But it's 12 o'clock, like I mentioned. If things are gonna start to get spicy, we're gonna see a clean setup by maybe like 12:30. Ideally, right? 12:30 would be clean if we can get some bearish pressure by then. Still have 25 minutes left, so it's still possible. I'll keep my eyes on YM on a different chart. And then for now, I'm just gonna let the stream. Actually, no, we can keep YM on the table. YM versus ES. Let's see. 30-minute chart OB. We're just in bearish territory right now. All right, cool. Got this bearish order block right here too. So price could slam off of that if it wants lower. See, this candle is nice. Oh my goodness. This 1030 candle, 1030 to 11, 1055. That's a nice candle. That is a nice candle here. And what do we see? We see price open at 11 in the bearish zone, break structure. This could be a clean short. And what did it just shorted off of what? Oh, there's a wick off of this high here. See, these candles over here, they aren't giving you these wicks with structure in it. So if I look over here, I don't see anything bearish whatsoever over here. It's all bullish. You got, let me go save this real quick. Should have these zones highlighted, but you got this right here. It's bullish, never mitigated. Make sure these lines are right. 10 to 1030. All right, cool. Look at that bearish pressure, bro. This is like, I might short YM, guys. Let's see. Boom, boom. 10 to 1030. Then you got 1030 to really just do it like that. Yeah, boom. Boom. And then you got 1130. And you got 12. Excellent. So here, yeah, you have some bullish pressure here and there. Bingo, bingo. All right. So with that, like I mentioned, there's nothing I can really do. I can't really trade those unless we start pulling back into them. So that's that. On the other note, we have YM over here, which is tough because this break of structure, Oh my goodness. This order block here. So yeah, how I want to play this is I have to zoom in on YM here. Make it make sense, right? We have price pushing into this bearish area of interest. Really nice rejection. Off of that rejection, 1030 candle closes with a bearish profile. We open up this candle, drive into that bearish profile, and break structure. With this break of structure, I'm looking at the order box being left behind. And I marked them out. The last up close drives are here. I'll make these black just for the sake of variety. And you say, okay, price has shown me that it's bearish. What is this? This is if we go to that 30-minute candle that offered here, I'm watching this body price right here. Because we get under here, I gotta short it. There's nothing stopping it. And then we have boom, boom, boom. Yeah. The reason why you want to be careful here is because we drove into this open price and you see a strong flip with this 30-minute candle here offering a drive into it. Bearish candles, right? And that's what that level was. We haven't shown any strong move. Okay, yeah, we just closed underneath this, kid. So yeah, I'm watching this now. I'm watching this now. We start rejecting here. This could be a short. It's up above here. And let that boy ride 1.5. Turn on my indicators. Let's see where all these price points are. Oh yeah, we got 930 right there. So what I'm looking at is how does price respond right now? Because this is already giving me a sell signal. We had that 5-minute candle here for this current setup, which would stop at 1230, right? Move that to the side. The phase is very simple now. It's like, how does price respond in here? Because if this turns into a bullish profile where we start closing above here, I'm going to abandon everything short and I'm going to go bullish because everything else is bullish. We got ES bullish. We got NASDAQ bullish. We're still at all-time highs for YM, so that would be the draw, right? But YM gave you a pullback, right? That's the only reason why I'm interested in YM. ES and NASDAQ look like they don't care to pull back. So maybe I can get along on YM, a safer optimal entry with the same bias. Target would be here. If we can't get through here, bro, this level right here gets my attention right here, bro. So this level, we have this fair value gap. Well, no, I won't do that. I won't do that. Honestly, I'm leaning more bullish here because there's nothing else telling me to short. YM is the only one slightly bearish here, and we hit some support, and now we're starting to show that bullishness. So maybe I get a delayed buy here. I don't think I can short this. We see a nice short profile. Up close candle shows resistance, retest, break a structure. Now we're tapping into this gap here that was left, and we're showing resistance. But I want to see price show strength underneath here. A strong closure through here. Retest, break structure. Then I'm like, yeah, price has to be drawing lower. Right now, it's still up in the air for the buys because from here to here, you see this candle closes bearish, but we never broke any of the bullish pressure in that bearish candle. Look at these up close candles just holding. All right, if we're truly bearish in a bearish candle, those bullish opportunities should be used as rejection to go lower. Instead, you see price still on top of these bullish candles. That's not a good look for sellers. And then over here, we create a bullish closure, right? This is a bullish 30-minute candle. So I'm looking for the bearish points of interest. We're rejecting here, right? We're currently rejecting this bearish candle, but at the same time, we still haven't broken through this candle. So there's no real bias in here yet. Soon there will be. Hopefully soon, I should say. Because if it's not showing anything by 12:30, I'm going to wrap it up. So I'm paying close attention to how this candle end up shorting here. Because if I'm looking, right, YM 5-minute chart, let me take this out. We had, here was your first opportunity to short. But it's tough. Like this isn't really, because really what you're telling me is if I'm looking at this, price could take out this low and still be bullish, right? Because we have 11.25, 55, perfect. You get this up close candle here that's creating the move. We retest that up close candle and break structure for the first time on the 5-minute and for the 1 minute. So anything inside of this leg is bearish. Price pushes up into here, stabs into the gap, pushes up into here, break structure again. It's just the ranges are too wide, bro. You know what I mean? Like if you're bearish, I want to see price. If you're gonna push all the way up into this zone, I want to see you hit here. So I know, like, all right, are the shorts legit? You break this level, and then you try to pretend bearish without even hitting this level. So it's like stuck in this gap here. And if it wanted to short from here, I guess it could. But it's just like that's not what I'm looking for, right? I'm looking for price to hit one of these and reject like no tomorrow. Clearly tell you that this is where price is looking to go lower. Right now we get a nice rejection, and then this low could be the draw for now. Price could flip bullish. So I have to keep a bullish profile, understanding that the ES and NASDAQ are not pulling back at all right now. So maybe I would be better off buying after a sweep of this low or something. You know what I mean? Because the buy profile is starting to show. You see these candles right here from 11 perfect to 11:25 close. Yeah, bearish candle, bullish. Yeah, this is serving as support. We need to break this if we're truly bearish, right? So maybe sweep this low and then start going right back bullish. And then you have from 11:30 to 12, bullish closure, bearish candle holding right now. We closed. This is nice. This is so nice. It's tough to trade because it's like, are we just going to target this low and then flip bullish? But if you're looking at 5 minute, we break here, close, push back into the down close candle here and reject, leave a fair value gap, respecting the fair value gap, trades directly to the lows. That was nice. I don't think I would have taken it just because of like, where will you put your stop? Like say you shorted here, you putting your stop up here. So these micro movements down here don't really excite me. I'm looking for a massive move lower, right? But I would have to go break even after this low because I understand that the markets are strong right now. So I really don't want to get caught up in a bad short. So you feel me? Like now you can see like I'd rather just not take this one regardless of how it plays out because I know I won't be able to hold it comfortably. If I see too much buying pressure, I'm going to get out of that faster than I want to when I pretty much pick a side, right? Not much room to breathe for the shorts here. 5 minute chart. Looks really nice though. We start closing underneath here. This is going to be nice for a lot lower. I can't say a lot lower, bro, because we can push right back into this bearish candle here and find support. Yeah, unorthodox type of range today got me over here looking at YM. You know, very bullish expansion today. 5 minute chart. Yeah, we're chilling. So with this close, what else would we have on the table? Still have this area right here from 11 to 11:30. Nice bearish area here. I like these down close candles specifically. And then you have these down close candles to open the next wave. So I guess I could go like this here. This entire zone here from this to this, bullish. Haven't tapped into it yet over here. Neither is NAS. Neither has NAS. All right, cool. Save that. Six minutes left. Let's see how this candle closes. We might get some bearish pressure here. If we can get back-to-back bearish candles, that's worth investigating here. Because we should be closing. Yeah, we'll close with some sort of rejection candle here. And that should start it off. Nice doji or any sort of rejection, honestly, as long as it looks good on the 5 minute. So we have this bullish pressure here. What you want is for price to close underneath. There we go. Yeah. Come on, ES, catch up, bro. You want price to start closing under these up close candles, right? You see the rejection, you see the rejection. Now you want to see price close under them. Consecutively would be the best type of pressure right now because we're just so bullish. But if this candle closes bullish, I'm gonna wrap it up because it's telling you price is way too strong. All right, cool. So there we go. We get the closure we want to see over here. Let's zoom into this structure right now. So it's very, very, very simple, right? Up close candle, up close candle. That's where we start that exhaustion. All right, cool. And then we have same thing over here, up close candle, starts that exhaustion. All right, ES tapping into it, NASDAQ has not, don't really care until price can drive up into here, right? So price may generate some sort of like internal high and then drive. That could be the case. We will see. YM might be dumping, kid. I don't know though. YM still a little bit sketchy. Like, I don't like how price is playing around this level. And I understand that it could still be bullish, right? And then looking at how we close this 1230 candle, all the bullish pressures at the bottom of the candle, right? There's no bullish pressure up at the top. So I would need to see price take out these bullish levels here before you even consider going to the downside. But all in all, it was fun looking at YM for a few minutes, but I'm not going to end up trading that. We have a clean profile right now that could send price lower. Just a matter of how price wants to operate right now. Two bullish zones below. Yeah, we're chilling. I would love to see price drive back into this range here and just show obvious rejection. So that's the game plan. Simple short, bro. Like, it could be so simple. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I'm starting to enjoy about trading. The simple setups. Like, I don't even feel like entertaining the complicated setups. Let those go without me. So I'm gonna try this short real quick. 1R. And my field price is at 25,375. And this is gonna be tricky, but what I'm thinking is this is a good bearish profile. All right. ES is lower than NASDAQ right now. I'm looking at ES, and ES is already back into this zone. And I'm thinking ES was stronger today. So if ES is tapping into this zone, NASDAQ should be able to tap into this zone. So I'm looking for a sharp move lower off of this order block right here. So naturally, I want to see this area hold up, this blue line, this red area here. I want to see lots of selling pressure from there. So when I saw it, this nice closure here, that could be my cue to get in before the big flush. All right, and TP is set around this 930 open price right here, 25,347. Yeah, 347. So paying close attention to ES here, because we had the chance to break structure once we tapped into this zone, right? ES tapped into it. I was looking for price to break this level. Instead, we push and have a pretty strong rejection off of it. So that was my cue. Like, all right, if price wants to go short here, this would be a good spot for it. So I'm gonna watch ES on my other screen, zoom in on NASDAQ here. Just looking for a quick scalp for about 28, 30 points or so. Back to that session level. All right, so I think I'm gonna just trail myself out of this position because of what time it is. If it was earlier in the day, I would let this play out, but I don't want to give back a solid win here. So I'm gonna give this a few seconds to try to run, and then I'm gonna start. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna scale out of here. Yeah, I'm scaling out as we speak. Oh, is it gonna tag me? Yeah, I'm out of here, guys. Great push. I don't even want to be too greedy here, understanding that we're still in bullish territory. Right. I was just looking for a drive back into that level, and I caught about 30 points there. I'll take that. Yeah, I'm definitely taking that right there. Nice. All right, cool. So I'll wrap it up there for today. Go ahead, jump in the chat room if you had a pretty decent session today. Download image. Wait, let me do this session. Not bad. Trading apply. Where's my execution strategy? All right, cool. Back at it tomorrow. We should have cleaner setups tomorrow, but as far as today goes, I'll take it. Drop this in the chat. I will catch you guys later. God bless. Good timing here. Done by 1 o'clock. And we'll see what tomorrow has in store for us. Take care.